Let there be light. One of these days, I'll have a fully prepared stream before I start. Today is not one of those days. But that's okay. Because we are learning as we go. Learning as we go, taking the bad with the good. That's how we gotta do it. Am I actually offline though? No, doesn't say that I am. Alright. Light, I'm gonna need you to work with me here. I really need you to stay on, please. Really need you to work with me here. I need you to please just stay on for a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be forever, but it's gotta be long enough. It's gotta be longer than that. Come on. I thought we were friends. What's going on over here? Why is this not? Oh, this is a disaster. This is just Murphy's Law of the Stream, I guess. I don't know what you want from me. Maybe if I change the warmth, or if I lower it a little bit. Like, is it too? What's wrong? Are we demanding too much electricity? Is the plug just messed up? Who knows? I don't. If I did, it wouldn't be an issue. We're all good for now, though. It's on. And we're just gonna have to take advantage of it while we've got it. So, I am feeling very inspired right now, despite it being late-ish. We're looking at 10:19 at night here over on the gorgeous East Coast. And we're gonna do some things, some stuff, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great time. And a nice hello to everyone who comes in and joins us. Okay, by the way, for the viewers, can you hear the music? Is it okay? Too loud? Too soft? Let me know. Still trying to balance things out here over at Studio Jade. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do first. I think what we're gonna do, we are going to just do a few little creativity exercises. Again, we're using these artist trading cards. They're about the size of a Magic the Gathering card, which is very cool because that means they fit inside perfect fits and inside your top loaders. Perfect for a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, I've got some pretty cool plans in the future for doing things with. But anyway, without further ado, I think what we're gonna do first is we are going to see, I would like to measure things out, but life isn't always measured all the time, is it? Screw it. It's a creativity building exercise, right? Why overcomplicate things? Let's just go for it. So, we're going to be using a micron pen. We're just going to go ahead, make some diagonal lines. Trying to be as straight as possible. The lines, anyway. I don't know if diagonal is the best choice, but art is about experimentation. It's about trying something new. And if it doesn't end up working out, that's fine. We'll be alright. We're just going to go ahead and create kind of a grid pattern, because hopefully we'll be able to make something look pretty cool with this. So easing into this grid pattern right here. There we go. Just like that. We're done. No, I'm just kidding. We got more. We got more to do. Okay, so do I go with this width, or do I go, you know what? I don't have time. We don't have time to think. Hurry, go fast. Quickly, there's no time. We're gonna go one smaller. We're gonna switch to a 3. Why? Because I'm the boss. So we're just gonna kind of create some kind of squiggly shapes, something that works well with what's going on here. And what we'll do afterwards, well, it's my little secret, but I'll let you guys in on it. I think y'all will appreciate this, because it'll be fun, and we're here to have fun and be inspired, share some inspiration amongst fellow creators. And if it doesn't turn out looking that good, you know what? It's okay, because we still have the experience of creating together. Over here, I'm thinking we'll do a big swoop, just like that. Ooh, you know what? I like the way that'll end up working, because then we can go ahead, make something like that, and a dot. And you know, I feel so good about that. I think we'll do it again over here. And we'll go over here. We'll make another one. Essentially what we want to do, our aim, our goal, is to create a bunch of geometric bleh. I can speak. I'm not tired. You're tired. Bunch of geometric curvilinearities. Try saying that 5 times fast. Pro tip, you can't. And if you can, you cheated. And it doesn't count. So, anyway, how are y'all doing? How's your night going? Hopefully you're able to do something you enjoy. Eat some good food. Drink a tasty beverage. Just enjoy your autumn evening. I think everybody deserves a little bit of that, don't you? Just relax. Kick back. And enjoy some creation. So, going along over here, we'll finish this up with something like this. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's looking pretty good. It almost looks like it almost looks like it almost looks like the diagrams of the parts of a cell that you would get in biology class. You know, the one where you'd have the plant cell versus an animal cell. And they would say things like, you can tell that this is a plant cell because it's got a cell wall. Only plant cells have cell walls. I think that's a bunch of poppycock, if you ask me. All cells have walls. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. The aim is not to make something that necessarily looks good. The aim is to just enjoy. And make something that you can look at and go, ooh, I like that. That's very pretty. And at the end of it, you can take pride in knowing that you made something before which did not exist. As I've said before, it doesn't have to look good as long as it makes you happy and you had a good time making it. Then it was worth it. Or it should feel like it was worth it, rather. Because at the end of the day, that's just how it is. I feel like I'm particularly rambly tonight. I don't know. I just feel, really inspired. I feel very lucky. And I'm feeling real good. And therefore, I must share. Because that's what this whole experience is about, right? Ooh, okay. See, now that right there is looking pretty Halloween-y, if you ask me, if I do say so myself. We'll do another little circle there, because that can be like a pupil. It'll be like 2 pupils. You have the shape of a head. You got a mouth. You got 2 more eyes over here. thing that looks like SpongeBob's karate helmet. Why not, right? Okay, so here comes the fun part. Here comes the part where I'm not sure I'll be able to really follow what's going on. But we're going to do it anyway. Yes, we will. So, what we're going to do now is, let's see if I can make heads or tails of this. What we're going to do now, we're going to create a checkerboard pattern wherein black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, black, white, black. And the colors are going to invert, and it's going to look interesting. We'll do something with it. I don't know. I feel like, is there a way that I can possibly zoom in? There should be. I don't think there is, which is kind of a shame. I wonder if I can zoom in through some other method. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. We'll be okay for right now. So now, how are we gonna do this? I say we just go for it. Right? Starting with this one, we're just gonna start to color. We're just gonna start to color in our background. Now, this was the objective of one of the projects that we were assigned to do in one of my college art classes. It was a 2D design course, and it was a pretty decently enjoyable one. I did notice that during that class there were quite a few different assignments where some people did not enjoy it, some didn't have fun with it, and that's okay. You know, everyone wants to get something different out of their art. If you asked 10 people, you'd get 10 different answers, right? Just stands to reason that that would be the case. But I think this was one of those assignments that was open-ended enough where everybody... Oh, hello, Ori. How are you? Welcome. Or welcome back, I should say, to Studio Jade. We're here making some stuff. I'm glad you think it looks very good. I hope you're having a good night as well. I hope everyone in here is having a good night. It's a nice crisp autumn night. We're all just hanging out here having some fun making some art. There we go. Yeah. Sorry, lost my train of thought for a second. This was an assignment that was open-ended enough that everybody got to be a little bit more expressive, play around with everything a little more, you know? This was one of those rare assignments where, at the end of it, during our critique period, nobody had anything negative to say about their own piece, which was amazing. I was very happy with that. Because again, a piece might not come out exactly the way you intended it to, but that doesn't make it bad. It just means that it wasn't the way you thought it would be in your mind. And the way you get closer to making something like that happen is simply through practice. Through practice and effort and time, all is achievable. It doesn't matter what your goals are. As long as it's something that can be attained, you can do it. You can. You just gotta believe in yourself. This is where I say something cheesy like, and if you don't believe in yourself, I do. And I do. It's true. Take it from me. You never know what is through that next door. Could be something good. Could be something not so good. But it also might be something good. Could be something medium. I don't know. Depends. Who knows? I don't. You don't. Nobody will until that door opens. Could be a cat. Cats are good. We love cats. Could be a shark. Is a shark a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know either. It all depends on your perspective. So this is starting to look pretty rad already. I'm still questionable on the choice of using diagonal lines. See, when we originally did this assignment, we had like a square shape, or rectangle technically, if you want to be sciencey about it. But I lost my train of thought. Yeah, that happens sometimes. That might happen a little more as it gets later, but that's okay. Like I said, this is maybe gonna be a shorter stream. I almost said hopefully, and I don't know. I don't hope for streams to be short. Sometimes it's just the way it pans out. I do, in the future, intend and hope to start earlier, but it's not entirely something I can control. So we just take what we're given. And besides, time spent outside of stream, pre-stream, one could say. PC. No, PS. Wow. Thank you, Ori. I hope you can make it again. If not, the stream will be uploaded to YouTube at some point tomorrow. Under the channel made by Jade. same name as over here. But, as I was saying, time spent pre-stream. Wouldn't have it any other way than how it went. And that is the hard, fast truth. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is looking pretty rad as it is right now. It's gonna look so much better once it is a complete design. I'm also simply hoping that I can properly follow the design pattern. There have been a few times where that has been an oopsie. As a matter of fact, going back to my rambling about the 2D design class, I'm fairly certain I had to recreate my original submission at the last second because I did mess it up. Normally it's not a big deal, but it was for a grade and blah blah blah. But that part is boring. It was still interesting at the end of the day. And that is rad. That is what we want. Again, I hope the music is nice and audible. If not, that is okay. That's just something we have to work on in the future. And we will. We will get there. Just need a little time, a little patience, and a little belief. See, what I find fascinating about it, well, the main purpose of this here experiment slash exercise is to really dig in to contrast those deep dark blacks and the stunning white going against each other, really drawing your, oh no, I hope I didn't do any damage. Maybe perhaps I should switch to a larger marker pen thing, because I don't want to damage these. They're not super expensive, but that doesn't mean I should just use them willy-nilly. I mean, I could, but it feels disrespectful. Okay, so we're good with that one. That one's... We'll let you rest for now. You did well. Let's try an 8, shall we? That might be the move. Because we don't want to damage the canvas itself too much. Which shouldn't happen. They usually take ink pretty well without running too high of a risk of bleed. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's looking so cool. It looks so good. I'm very happy with that. On top of contrast, the ability to get different perspectives on the piece as you turn and rotate it is something else that I find fosters a level of interpretational creativity. I don't know if that's the proper term for it, but that's what Jade's gonna call it. Just being able to see the same thing from so many different angles kind of makes you reframe your appreciation for it, because what you get out of it like this is not necessarily what you get out of it like this and like this. I'd even go as far as to say it's quite different from looking at it like this. Maybe not. That might just be me. And that was also a really, really bad joke. I feel like that was definitely a joke that somebody's dad had told or would tell. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of a joke that my mother used to really like, and it's one of those jokes that is just so dumb that you have to laugh. Maybe not dumb, but it's very much a silly joke. Makes you roll your eyes. And as a matter of fact, it is a joke that I have told in front of people at a convention, which is kind of funny because it had exactly the effect that I thought it would, and that was that everybody was confused. And I will share that in a moment, perhaps. Alright. So I'd like to say at this point we're probably more than halfway done with it, because these squares where the black is the background, of course, are going to take more effort because there's more space to color. But it's still very cool. Even just the way that it is now, it kind of gives you this window into this weird world. I think next time I do an exercise like this, I might keep we'll keep the lines parallel, because I don't think it looks bad, but I think there's an aspect to it that you might lose a little bit due to the fact that the lines are mostly perpendicular. Not entirely, because I am not a line drawing machine, as much as they try to make me one. Try as they might, it did not work. What does that mean? I don't know either. Your guess is as good as mine. There we go. If I can get through this whole stream and only have that one disconnect, then we'll call that a victory. Let's be real though, it's a victory either way. Because you know what? I get the opportunity to sit here, create something cool, and share not only the finished piece with everyone, but also the process of making it. And if that isn't something special, then I don't know what is. We're all just here hanging out. We're all having a good time. I hope you all are having a good time. I'm having a good time. I hope my rambling isn't too something. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move towards finishing this. Let's do a quality spot check just to make sure that this indeed is keeping its integrity. I think it is. So we're just going to continue. We're just going to keep on trucking. Sometimes when things get difficult, it's just what you gotta do. You just gotta keep on trucking. Keep on trucking. And keep in mind, whatever difficulties you might have faced in the past, you've gotten through them. And look at you. You're here now. And you have those experiences, those things you went through, to look back on and draw upon for strength and experience when things get difficult in the future. And I think that's a pretty good thing to get to have, you know? We're all the sum of our past experiences. Whatever those experiences may be, they didn't prevent me from messing this piece up. But that's okay. That's where we get to practice a little something called improv. And what are we gonna do about it? Your guess is as good as mine. We're just gonna pretend that that was supposed to be that way. I did predict it, didn't I not? Alright, so in that case, it looks like all of the squares with the black backgrounds are indeed done. Which means now we get to have a little bit more fun. What we're gonna do now I think I will go to a 2. Perhaps. That might be a little thin. We might go back to the 3. Or the 5, maybe. Where was the 5? What was I using? Was I using the 5? I really don't remember. Definitely not the 1. I think we're gonna pick the 5 back up. And now we're gonna do the exact opposite. We're gonna go ahead and apply the negative filter. And the background is going to be white. And everything in the foreground is going to be black. And it's going to create this really cool stuttery effect, almost. Now, I would be particularly interested, actually, in seeing something done, perhaps animated, wherein this exact piece was copied and the negative filter actually was applied, and then reversed. I feel like that would create a really cool animation type effect. I'm sure that can be done. In the year of our Lord 2025? Yeah, most likely. You ever just start saying things and you start sounding the way that you imagine a parrot sounds when a parrot talks and it's making all its little noises? I'd like to believe that they're saying things like this, but because we don't understand them, or at least many of us can't, I, for one, was never quite able to get the hang of speaking bird. But the way they seem to be so entertained by what they say and do just leads me to believe that there's a similarity there. I could be wrong. I'm not a professional bird studier. That would be kind of cool. Studying birds and what have you. Probably very fun. Who knows? Alright. So it's looking like we're finishing up here on this square. We're about to shift over to the next one. Just like that. Look at that. It's like magic. Some people are capable of magic, and some people just are magic. You know? You ever met somebody like that? I certainly have. Hopefully everyone else has too. They're wonderful people. Everybody deserves to have somebody who just seems capable of performing magic in their lives. The kind of people that you're just drawn to, right? That was almost like sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't know if, depending on how audible the music is, you might not have been able to tell, but there's some water flow going, and it sounded really cool. All right. So, I am a firm believer that this is going to look amazing once we're done with it. We're rapidly approaching being halfway done, if not having already passed the halfway checkpoint. Which probably does mean that I should drink some water. And so should all of y'all. Because it is important that we're staying hydrated, taking good care of ourselves. So I will stop in a moment to grab a sip of some water so that I may continue talking. Hopefully my being rambly is not too off-putting. It's definitely late. It's been a day. It's been a Tuesday, actually. Sometimes Tuesdays can be, well, let's just say they don't call them What Do Tuesdays Tuesday for no reason. I will stop, like I said, for it is time to drink some water. The only problem is, I don't actually know what I did with my water. And that, my viewers, could be an issue. Nope. False alarm, y'all. I found some water. So we're just gonna take a couple sips of this here water. And we're gonna keep on going, shall we? Yes, indeed. Let's do just that. We are rapidly approaching being done with this. I will admit, it took a little bit longer than I thought it would. But that is okay. I'm feeling quite zen, quite relaxed. And most importantly, the inspiration that I was feeling before and am still feeling right now have been well spent. Which is always a good thing. Sometimes you create something, an idea born from inspiration, and it might not come out the way you saw it in your head. And that happens. Sometimes it's hard not to feel a little disappointed when something like that happens. But that's okay. There are very few pieces of mine, if any. I can't think of any off the top of my head at this moment. I know they exist, though, where you look at it and you just kind of go, yeah, I wish I didn't make that. Which is a very rude thing to say to yourself. Because take that out of context for a moment. Imagine that you are not you. Imagine that you are somebody else. Or imagine that the piece was made by somebody else. And you're looking at a piece of art that somebody spent time on. And poured some energy into. Doesn't matter how much. And you look at it and you say, you know, I really wish you didn't make that. Not a good feeling, right? Not a good feeling. Oh no. I have no idea how long the stream had cut out for. I have no idea how long I was rambling without realizing. Oh no. I was definitely onto something there. I was spitting some hardcore philosophical gas. Yes, though. We as artists do need to focus on being nicer to ourselves. I'm gonna go ahead and imagine that most of what I said during that last ramble was cut out, so I will just give an abridged version of it. Be nicer to yourself when you talk about your creations, your artwork. Because imagine if someone showed you something that they made, that they had poured their thought and time and creativity and spent energy on, and precious calories, all of the above. And you looked at it and you said to them, I wish you didn't create this. That doesn't sound good, does it? That's upsetting. That's rude. You don't want to say that to somebody else. Unless it's something really bad. Like, I don't know. I can't think of an example at the moment. But the point remains. Not a nice thing to say, especially to yourself. You gotta be nicer to yourself. You gotta take care of your human a little bit better. Sometimes you gotta be your own best friend. You gotta catch yourself in moments of not being nice to yourself, and you have to say, hey man, don't do that. Don't do that. Be nicer to my friend. Be nicer to me. Okay, you know what? This actually does kind of work out. Because what we can use this little mistake area for, we can kind of turn it into a focal point. Because by drawing this up through there, it's kind of an irregularity. And the way your eyes kind of will end up following everything, scanning it around and coming to that, can have the effect of making you think a little bit. And oftentimes, you might find that a part of a particular piece of art that you might find appealing could have just very well been the result of a mistake on the part of the creator. And then in that case, would you even call it a mistake? It could be a mistake in that it's unintentional. But does that really make it bad? That's some food for thought right there. You never know. Truly, one can never know. So, let's see what we're going to do about this one. We're going to continue to let it follow through. We're going to give it that opportunity to be that focal point. There we go. It's almost like it's not even there. It doesn't exist. It's just another moment in time. Just another window. I thought I almost messed up again, made another mistake. We didn't, so we're all good. No worries there. But it would have been humorous, I think. All right, fellow art enthusiasts, we are about to wrap this up. Both in theory and in reality, because it looks like this is our last little bit to color. And then we can really get a good view of it. There might be something that I want to do though, because I feel like I could do some more with this space. Yeah. I want to create a little bit more contrast. You want to really draw the eye around the whole piece. Draw the eye around the piece. Give it a good kind of feeling to it where you don't know where you're supposed to be fixed on. You're just kind of scanning around, wondering what's going on there. How's this looking? Who did that? Why? When? How? And just like that, everybody, I believe we are finished. I think that's looking pretty good. I think we did something here, guys. So, that is how this looks. And, on the recommendation of a certain special someone, we're going to date and sign the back. Just 'cause. Now, how did I do it for my last piece? For those of you who might not have been here for the last stream, this was one of the pieces we created. And we got a little date and a little signature. So, looks like for that one, it was like that. I guess it boils down to how I intend for people to view it. And how do I intend for people to view it? I almost want to say like this, because this feels the most correct. But that's only my interpretation. Someone could see it this way and think this is the correct way. Who knows? You know what we'll do? We'll just give it a couple spins while not looking at the piece itself. You'll just have to trust that I'm not actually looking at it. And yeah, that's what we'll do. Alright, so using a 01 of the Micron pen, we're going to go ahead and sign this baby. And what is today's date? We are looking at October 21st of 2025. And with that, we have another piece completed. With that, we have another stream being brought to an end. But of course, before we must do so, we're going to take care of it and make sure it's properly put away. I am curious which way it ended up going. So we got the signature there. That's pretty cool. I can say that I am good and satisfied with the way this turned out. Now it's protected. We're going to grab a top loader over here. We're going to pop it in so it can be even better protected. And should anyone be interested in purchasing, it's already ready to go. A little bit more. speaking of doing that, did anyone, growing up or otherwise, know somebody who smoked cigarettes that whenever they would get a fresh pack, they would do that? What was that supposed to be for? What was the point of that? Sorry, that was just something that reminded me of, and it never made sense to me, but I never understood that. Either way, that's not important. What is important is that now we have this beautiful finished piece, and I think it looks pretty great. We're going to take this, we're going to do that, and now it can be displayed for anyone who wants to see it. Right there. Maybe as these streams continue, this whole area will fill up. Maybe one day when I change the camera angle, there will be a more full view of the studio. I think that could be a pretty fun goal. So we're just going to pop this over here for right now. We'll change it around in a little bit. My friends, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Thank you so much for sharing this experience. And I hope you had fun. Not sure if I'm going to do another stream this week. I would like to, but we'll just have to see where it goes. This was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. And I hope you guys all have a very good night. Thank you to everyone who was here. Have a good one.